stage is yours. And recording should go with the, before as well. I don't know whether they recorded what the statement is all about. Okay, anyway. So, okay. Yeah, so over to you guys, and you can one by one, you can, it's a discussion. There's no kind of one after the other, but we all can actually when someone talking, we can add certain things and stuff like that. Okay, so hope we can add some value for everybody to actually get that and learn through that, and so then they can actually start from tonight. Okay, yeah, over to you guys.
I'll start if that's okay with everyone. Just an exercise, right? Just to bring this topic into fruition. I want everyone to take out a blank piece of paper, right? And write down the name of the last 3 people you connected to. Without looking at your phones, from your head. Okay, so if you're finding it difficult to do that, the purpose that I asked this question is because moving from quantity into quality conversations, we really need to be able to look at people as individuals and not just numbers, right? And I think one of the best ways that we can really kind of, realize that is when we walk away from a good conversation and we're able to remember the person's name. Right? Because from doing that, we actually treated them as an individual. I'm telling you from my experience, because especially like when there's a lot of conversations going on and I've had multiple experiences, I'm like, oh, I booked this entry on blah, 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 blah. And then my parents would be like, oh, what's their name? Like, what do they study? Blah, blah. I'd be like, I don't know, but I booked an MG1, right? And that's the reason, why, like, as in, that's kind of, looking at quantity over quality. We actually, like a couple of days ago as a team, we discussed within one of our Zooms some of the ways that we can actually improve the quality of our conversations, and we can really kind of move forward and increase the number of replies we get so that we're able to transition our conversations into something more quality. Because asking hi, how are you? I'm good, thanks. How was your day? Really good. Like, that's not really quality, right? That's not there yet. Quality conversations we get when we get deeper into a conversation, and that requires people to reply to us, right? So basically we thought of 4 different things. The first thing that we thought of was creating a brand on social media so that when we actually when we kind of, send a message to someone, even if it's out of the blue, they're more likely to respond and engage in conversation with us because we didn't just appear out of nowhere. Right? We may be posting stories or posts that align with our values and our mindset, right? For example, if we're talking about Instagram, it doesn't need to be just purely about the business, but certain aspects of our life that shows our priorities and top values in life, whether it's family, whether it's self-development, or even associations, or whatever it is. And then when we kind of start a conversation with someone, they're like, oh, right, she's not appearing on nowhere. Oh, I've seen Vinari's stories. I see what I don't know her personally, but I see that, she's doing so. Like, I'm not popping out of the blue, right? So that's one of the things. The second thing is prioritizing ongoing conversations. What I mean by that is if I open my inbox of chats, right? If I go on, my daily goal, which is, okay, I need to start like 10 conversations today, and I make that a higher priority than replying to someone who's poured their heart out because I've asked them a very good, open-ended question, my priorities are not right. Right? I should be, even though that specific person that's opened their heart and replied with a great message doesn't align with my daily goal, my mindset should be, okay, I need to respond to this person because we're already within that quality conversation. Once I've done that, hopefully proceeded, into a booking an MG1, then I can start my 10 conversations per day. I'm saying this because I've gone through it where I'm like, okay, start 10, start 10, start 10. And then I'm replying to this person that poured their heart out like weeks later, I don't know how much later, and suddenly the quality's died down because I clearly wasn't interested, in replying to that person and getting to know them, right? So kind of aligning priorities and making sure that it's a priority for us to continue conversations with people. third thing is having parallel conversations, meaning like we can have general conversation and then also quite interesting conversation. So for trying to find something interesting about the person, so we're able to engage more in that. What I mean by that is if we're talking about work, right, what they do for work, if we're not interested in that, that happens sometimes, right, we still have something that we have a common ground, that there's two conversations going on at the same time in terms of text. Like you guys can imagine, right? There's like one about one topic, and then the next message is about something else, whether it's travel, music, or however you started the conversation. And then the fourth thing, which I'll end with, which kind of, I started noticing, especially after that EW where we were discussing our results and in terms of who we're having most quality conversations with, I found that for me, the most quality conversations were with people that I was reapproaching from my A and B list. So something as a team that we noticed is, always refining our A and B list and going back and talking to people which we may have missed. Because if someone thinks they know us or knows us from somewhere, or knew us somewhere, they're more likely to respond, and we're more likely to get into a quality deep conversation. But yeah, this is not just from me, this is from like our entire team when we had like a talk about this, about improving our quality conversations. But yeah, I'll hand it over to like another leader.
Also,
I think Vinuri made a very good the points for us to make sure that we are actually getting into a very quality conversations, right? And I also actually learned that when I was actually doing even for face-to-face contacting, sometimes we are normally we are not good at every aspect of the life. So certain, for example, we are not good at all the sports, right? And if you just talk about, or even we are not good at certain areas, but sometimes when we are connecting with people, different people, and for us to become very successful person who can actually get a lot of good quality connections, and we need to at least have certain common sense, common knowledge about certain areas. Now, for example, and we'll say somebody is not really fan of football, but when we are connecting with someone who is football fan, right? Even we don't know anything about football, but we need to make sure that at least we get to know football through that person. So then when we even change that conversation about asking football, and because he's his favorite, right? When we ask people their favorite, and they build the trust, and they are open for us to actually give more details, and having that bond very strongly, right? And so we need to learn that. And sometimes people try to dominate the conversation because that whatever they know, and they're not actually concerned about somebody else's interest. But as Vinita said, that if we can actually humble enough to actually talks about them, and appreciate them, and we can get to know certain new subject, new areas through them if they're interested. That is a good way to actually go into a deep conversation. So once we get into the deep conversation, that you can actually divert that conversation to any part, because that we have already built the trust, we have already built that connection. Okay, so yeah, it's a great point shared, okay, yeah, open to others.
So, good, yeah. So, great sharing, and innovation. So actually, I was listening to the audio today. Right now, there are some statement I really grab it. It says that if you want to sell, right now, you need to increase the value of the marketplace. No, the value of the marketplace is us, right now. For example, right now, if you want to sell, right now, we need to increase our buying capacity. Right? Buying capacity is not increasing if you are not input into the value into our side. Right now, so what are the value right now we are carrying in our life, right now? Of course, right now, as Niroshan mentioned, right now, day-to-day life, the common sense, and same as right now when you are going through the conversation to that person, right now we need to think the way we can add value, maybe appreciation, maybe give the knowledge, maybe right now maybe help in some area, right now maybe completely influencing their life, what value we can add. Right, we need to think that one. And also when you are building the quality conversation, other one is we need to think and we don't have an intention. I was thinking to our team, talking to our team, right? It says like, what is that statement? Don't be interested, be interested. Don't be interesting, be interested for people. Right? Now, when you are building the conversation, right? You are the one, you need to decide whether you are doing the masala or not. Maybe you are building long conversation, maybe a lot of conversation, but you need to decide whether you are doing the masala or not. When you have that, what we are doing is we are improving our selection mindset. When you are improving our selection mindset, we can select the people. Right now, it is improve the quality of our mindset. So we need to maybe maybe we can go very closer, but we have decided we don't need to add masala. We don't need these people. Right? It is a high selection and a mindset. So it is of course right now for improve that one. We need to have a lots of conversation as we mentioned. Right? Lots of ongoing conversation. It is not enough having a few conversation to have that mindset. We need to have the lots of ongoing conversation. Right? So yeah. And it is again right now. Again, I remember something I learned from the audio. Right? Do the work. Right now, it's pretty or ugly. We need to do the work. We need to have the massive amount of the work ethic, right? To build that quality work ethic. Right? Maybe right. Yeah. So yeah, we need to go through the quantity, maybe conversation quantity, number of quantities, right? In the conversation, then we can improve our skill set. It is a skill set, right? No, it doesn't happen in overnight. It's a skill set we need to develop. Right? It takes some time, but no, having lots of conversation, we can build that skill set. Yeah.
I also wanted to add in terms of quality versus quantity. I've also found that having more quality conversations over like a lot, like a bulk of conversations, helps me not get overwhelmed and helps me just not want to do conversations at all. It actually makes me want to talk to people rather than just being like, oh, I have to do connections today. So it helps like just focusing on that quality and getting to know people, because I feel like all of us, we can say we don't like people, but at the end of the day, having those interesting conversations, finding those common grounds, like that would make us want to talk to people. Like for me, if someone wants to bring up like, I don't know, Marvel, right? I can go on it for hours, right? I'm not going to be like, oh, I have to talk about Marvel, you know what I mean? So I feel like that helps just to that mental health aspect as well, and just keeping that consistency going. That's kind of my take on it.
Yeah, for myself, I think I have changed when Niroshan actually told about just do the quality conversation rather than focusing on quantity. What I was previously doing, I just sent lots of connection without even studying some social media profiles. And also when not things happening for myself, and I just realized I just need to change the way that I'm talking to people. And previously, like Binri said, it's just saying, hi, how are you? That's all. And just maybe talking about the business without even jumping to the about any common grounds. And yeah, so when I changed that one, when I start building the quality conversation, I actually start building a lot of MG ones. And some people like, when we have the quality conversation, we listen to the candidate sometimes, like, and when they come to the MG1, one of the candidate actually told me, oh, Dilini, do you remember this one I told you? Because when we had that conversation, we need to remember what we have discussed with that candidate. So I think I changed the way that I'm talking to people, and it really worked when you start building that quality conversation. So I recently experienced that, I think just after the Niroshan's training.
We move on to the next topic.
Yeah. Okay. So I think we have given enough facts for the first topic. Okay. So we'll jump into the next one actually. Okay, and I know, as every one of you guys know, that the business always has, the peaks and valleys, right? And sometimes you can see your business is working. Sometimes you can see the business is, fluttering, and sometimes you see that, we are losing the momentum, and we feel that we are stagnated, right? And also, everybody get that because of there are certain challenges, certain difficulties that they are facing in their life or in the business, right? So now, the next topic that I want all the leaders to actually justify, and as a leader, as a champion, we never ever let's letting the business go. I mean, we always we need to make sure that as a champion, even whatever the difficulty that we have, and we are on it, and we are on top of the business, because that we had a dream, and we decided, okay, this will be the path to success through this arena. And so it's a concrete decision that we took some times back. And of course, we can see there are certain difficulties on our way, but always we need to make sure that whatever it comes to us at that time, but we always keep on that standard, right? So I want all the leaders to actually share their perspective and their how they actually face those situations, to have that mindset in the business, and okay, and so the topic is like never ever letting the go from the business. Okay, so always keep on track and keep on top of your business. Yeah.
Can I go? Okay.
Yes, Rana.
So when I first started in this business, I think one of the reasons I never let go and everything is because of that initial excitement and everything, right? But now that, I've been in this business for a little while, not that long, but still a little while, that kind of excitement has, faded away. That initial, like even what Dilani was speaking about in her talk today, that initial excitement is obviously going to be gone, right? But I think I'm going to give you guys a very good kind of anecdote, I guess, from like real life. Okay. So you guys probably know by now. If you don't, I work at IGA, and along with IGA, I also work at Tats Lotto. So it's like a combined thing. And to Tats Lotto, there are different types of people that come. There's people, that are in their 20s all the way up to, 80s, 90s. I serve this lady that's literally hunched back, can barely walk, that still plays Tats Lotto, right? There are all these different types of people, right? Now, majority of us, we're in our 20s to 40s, right? No, sorry. No, none of us are in our 40s. Yeah, everyone's in their 20s, right? And to us, it's kind of our future we're looking at in this business, right? In this business, we're kind of here to, create something for ourselves. Yes, we're thinking about our legacy, but more so we want to kind of create something for ourselves first, right? And if we think about it right now, right, we have our whole lives ahead of us, right? And as we go along in our 40s, 50s, we still have, at least 10, 20 years that we can, if we build this business properly, we can strip off, retirement. We can bring our retirement age down, right? But when I serve those people at Tats Lotto that are, past retirement, that have already retired at an older age, right? I always think, I sometimes ask them, why do they play Tats Lotto, right? They, what they say, I always ask, if you win this 30 million tonight, what would you, spend it on, right? And they're like, I would, set up my kids. I would, help my grandkids. I would, pay my mortgage off, all these different things, because that's reality, right? These people are banking on a Tats Lotto ticket you have to be so lucky to win a TATS lotto ticket in this country. It's 1 in 100 million people that you win, right? But in this business, right, it's not based off of luck. It's based off of our hard work. For me, right, there's so many other things that make me stay in this business, but I feel like that's definitely something that I think even the newest person in our call today can relate to, right? We don't want to be in our 60s, 70s, just, you know, fingers crossing and, you know, like praying to God over a TATS lotto ticket to save our life and, you know, create a legacy. That's just my perspective. And also another thing is, for me, I remember Alan Figueiredo saying this in an audio, right? Ignorance is bliss. Now that I'm in this business, unfortunately, I can't leave. I'm stuck. I cried to this to Vinary the other day. But yeah, anyway, over to the other leaders.
Okay, I'll go because she said ignorance is bliss. So I was just thinking, okay. So for those of you guys who don't know, I'm studying psychology, right? So if I wasn't actually building this business and everything, one of the biggest things that I know that I'll never ever let go of the business, other than the fact that, you know, it's part of my family, is this nightmare that I'll be in my 50s and I'll sit down as a psychologist and someone will come into my room and I'll be talking about their life and they will be talking about someone that I knew that was building this business at the same time that just went diamond and they're part of their organization. That is my worst fear. If you guys know the reference, right? Like, anyways, if you don't know the reference, this is something that's actually happened to someone and I am not going to let that happen to me, right? So, you know, that's just something, but I don't know if that, just to like lighten the mood, but also not to lighten the mood. I'm not joking, you know, but anyways, handing it over to someone else.
All right, so I'll add my thoughts, right? I want to add something just I learned from one of the audio, just learn, right? You know, it says, right, no, even in the boiling water, it's not boiling when you just hit 100 degrees. When you just hit the 100 degrees, it's not boiling, right? Now, to make the boiling water, you need to keep the temperature up. Right now, what happens sometimes, most of the time in our business, we just close to the 100, then we give up, we slow down. Then again we try to boil. Again you try to boil. That's what most of us are doing, right? So we need to understand in this business we are in the process of the building the skill set and the building the character. If you want to become a doctor, right? It takes years and years, right? To build the skill set. Why we are looking for the result after 1 year? Why, right? No, it is no point. It is no point. We need to build this skill set. I remember one of the audio Smita has mentioned, this is your character develop business, but it is your character is developing by how do you handle the adversities. If you are jump away, if you are run away from the adversities, your character is not building. Right? No, everyone we need to understand, all of you are, if you are like facing failures, facing struggle, everyone have a problem. In this world, everyone have problem. Who don't have problem? Everyone does, right? So that is complete character building business. But we need to remember, right? That's why again, right now we need to listen to this podcast and know the success stories every single day. When you are listening, couple of audios, couple of things, and know it's remind. Because guys, right now again, right now we discuss in our team, we can't just willpower. We can't. Within the willpower, we can't work. Right now, we need to have the thoughts every single day. We need to work on our thoughts. Our thoughts are not changing if you are not listening and reading every single day, right? No, that's why the system, right? So we need to understand, right? And also, right? No, it is, so again, that audio I remember. If you stay long enough the salon, you get the haircut, right? No, finally, you get the haircut. Right, so we need to think ourselves, right? Now I stay long enough to get the haircut, right? So whoever the people who are staying in this game, they're definitely going to be win. That's why I'm staying. I know in a fact, right? In a fact, it is going to be, right? Diamond, emerald list. If you pay the price, right? It's all about, right? Not a time. It's all about how much we are changing that time period. And if you are changing, and if you are building good attitude and the character, and if you are connected with our mentors, and definitely it is a done deal game. I know there is no doubts. It's all about, we need to understand this reality. We have to understand this reality. Right? No, we need to believe it. Right? No, that's all about it. Right? No, quitting is not. It's easier. Right? No, yeah. Yeah, that's my thoughts. You can.
Melly, go. Melly, if you want, you talk.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do quickly, but in terms of the like never let the business go, I think for me it's most relevant when the business is tough. When it's easy, obviously everyone can hold on to it, but when it's tough, that's when it really challenges me the most. And whether it's tough in your personal life, work life, whatever, think about like any situation you've gone through and think about those challenging times and see, like for me, whenever I'm going through challenging times, I always think about, okay, what is this situation trying to teach me? And what is the lesson? And normally those challenges will always keep coming until I learn the lesson. And the other thing like that I've kind of engraved into my mindset is the only way out, honestly, is diamond or crown ambassador. That's it. And lastly, like I always think back to my personal like life before this business. And I always think, do I really want to return back to that? And do I really want to play the 40, 50 year game when like this, like, you know, this business can offer so much more? So yeah, that's my point.
For me, I don't know why people, like when the hard situation going on in your life, some people are quitting the business. For myself, I feel like it's a bless. Every single problem, I don't know, it's so blessed to me. Every single problem comes to me, I lean into the business for some reason, and Indika knows this, and it's just, I feel like it's a blessing, right? And how many of you are working Monday to Friday and on Friday telling, thank God it's Friday? And especially during last holidays, we had like 2 weeks holidays. And on Monday, the 10th of Monday, I sat on the chair saying, oh my God, work again. So you will be experienced when you start working in a corporate or even in the normal other jobs, right? You will feel that one. I really don't want to continue that one for 70 years. And I know for a fact that I lost the time that I have to spend with my little one. I have no other option rather than just drop her to the childcare. And until now, because of the pandemic, just look after her. But before that, she's raised by someone else. Like if you don't, like, you wouldn't understand once you get the kids, you will understand that one by looking at someone is raising your own child. And the other thing is, like I said, I constantly build my mental muscles always. When problem comes, I just always look up my upline and always talk to Indika and told the situation, because I know all these problems is temporarily. Maybe life situation or anything, regardless of the business, you will face those challenges, but those challenges will be not forever. It will be a month, 2 or 1 year. For that reason, would we really losing a business like that? You really need to understand the value of this opportunity, which other people not get. Having a mentor, having a coach in our lives is a biggest blessing. And people like paying for the mentors and coaches. And we are so blessed. And of course, we need to earn their time. Yeah.
Can I just add one more thing as well in terms of like never letting go of the business, like practically, like if we're going through like hard times and everything, the worst thing we can do is stop listening to audios, stop reading books, and stop coming to associations and not talking to our mentors and coaches and uplines. That is the worst thing we can do. Like if we are not booking process appointments, if we're not connecting with people, okay, obviously that's not going to move your business forward, but you need to fix your mentality, fix your mindset first, right? And if we're not coming to, associations, and if we're not, like doing the bare minimum to improve our mentality, then we're already one step towards letting go of our business, right? So like, I just want to say to all of you guys, like, you should, like, I'm proud of myself for coming today. You should be proud of yourself for coming today, because sometimes I know for me, it's so hard to sit still, right? But we need to understand that we're doing this, right, for each other and also for our own future, right? So be proud of yourself. Every single, you know, association you come, every single, you know, audio you listen to and book you read. Yes, it's the bare minimum, but some people can't even do the bare minimum. And then they start going on this whole, you know, like snowball effect, right, to letting go of this business, right? None of you are like that. So high five. Right, but that's what I wanted to add.
Fantastic, fantastic. So let me add few things from my perspective, as well. As I think I have been telling this one for a long time, because that is, I would like to just start with that statement from one of the executive diamonds in this business, right? And I was very early stage in this business, and I was so excited about the future by looking at this arena and how I can become a part of it and how I can accomplish my dreams. And I was like, jump up and down at that time. I think very early, I think 1 month or even not even, 2 months in the business. That executive diamond came to Melbourne, that I was actually having a one-on-one session with him. And then I asked, after had a long discussion, and I asked my final question, just tell me the secret how I can become successful or how I can go diamond in this business, right? And he actually replied with a smile and very light. I mean, that I think one or two word statement. And he said, Niroshan, hang on to the business. Right? So I thought, why? I was asking that question so important, because I really wanted to know the secret. And, I was expecting, kind of another 2-hour lecture from him. And, because I'm an engineer, analytical and, with the facts and stuff like that, and how I can become successful in this business. But with his answer, with the 2 words, hang on to the business, and I thought what it is. And, I was like so upset at that time. But I kept on building this business. After a certain period of, being in this arena, that I realized that the answer that he has given me has a lot of sense, right? And because in this business, every single day, every single week, every single month, and we will be changing to a different version of ourselves. And when you feel that today is totally different, when you feel it in tomorrow or day after tomorrow, if you hang on to the business, right? And the people who has certain, thoughts coming into your mind, let go of this business. My recommendation is hang on to the business one more time. Hang on to the business one more time, because you will be a different version of yourself every single day, every single week, and every single month. Remind yourself and why you sign on the dotted line, or why you just, earn that mentorship. What is the biggest purpose? What is the biggest dream that you had when you were excited and launched your business, some time back? Right? Why? What the reason that you lose that momentum? What the reason that you lost that dream? Right? Remind all these things and hang on to this business. I always believe, and only champions can become platinums, emeralds, and diamonds in this business. And that is the reason why we are winners. Okay, I want you guys to actually search and find out the definition of a champion and a definition of a winner. How do we separate ourselves from the mass? Right? If it is, a very easy business. Why not my neighbors? Why not my colleagues? Why not my peers become diamonds in this business? Right? And why this? If you talk about even in entire Australia, why not everybody become diamonds? Right? So look at that. Only if you are a champion, if you are a winner, that we can accomplish our platinums, emeralds, and diamonds. So then we need to actually digest what this champion's attitude, what is champion's mindset, what is champion's work ethics, what is a winner look like, how the winner see everything, right? And when you actually imagine a person who is a champion, you imagine a person who is a winner, then you go in front of that person in front of the mirror. Okay, and that is how I empower every single time when I felt the same way. Don't think that I haven't felt this. I had a many time I want to let go of the business, right? But when I go in front of the mirror and I look at myself, and I always talk to myself, I'm a champion, I'm a winner. I'm not a person who let go anything that I have, signed on the dotted line. I'm so different to all the other people around me. That is the reason why I called myself as a winner. That is the only reason why I called myself as a champion. Right? So that is so powerful, guys. Okay. So forget about this business. Forget about anything that you do. But everything that if you wanted to become the minority, that is, winners are not the majority, right? Champions are not the majority, the minority. They're very small people. Why? Because everybody, when they climb and because of their challenges, because of their situations, most of the people give up, let go everything. But you and me are trained, you and me are getting trained, you and me are, being in this arena, having this awesome coaching and mentorship. We mold to a different person, different version of ourselves. We call a winner, we call champion. Okay, so I want you to remind all these things what I was talking about every time when you feel and down. And so only a lot of people say the only option that you can be happy, let go of this business. That is very common feeling sometimes people get when certain challenges in front of us. Every time when you feel that, go in front of the mirror and say, look at you and talk to you. Am I a champion? Am I a winner? Right? How do I change myself as a champion? How do I change myself as a winner? So if you look at that, if you see that, I know that some people put that definition, but if you look at yourself and read the definition of a winner and definition of champion, that you never ever let go of this business. Why? Because there's no any other options, guys. A lot of people think that I have hundreds of, thousands of options out there, but I'm telling you again, I can tell you repeatedly, there's no any other option like this for people like you and me to become successful. All the other stuff they are, but when you get into that, they are more tougher than building Amway business. I can tell you from my own experience right now. Don't think that I'm away from my family for 2.5 months, just, for fun. Right? I invested a lot of money and I need to make it happen. That is the reason why I go through all these hardships. Right? And, there are so many, I can list down thousands of statements every single day, every single hour I had going through for last 2.5 months. But I never let go anything that I signed on the dotted line. Why? That is, I always, even today that I go in front of my mirror, I see myself as a champion. I see myself as a winner, right? That is how the entrepreneurs think. That is how the entrepreneurs, empower themselves to become successful. Okay. And again, I'm comparing the traditional businesses versus, our online, that platform. I still telling you guys, this is the option for us to become successful. Okay, there's no any other option. Sometimes people see other options, but they are 1,000 times difficult than building an Amway business. For going platinum, going ruby, going emerald is much, much easier than for you to even climb in your corporate ladder to become a senior executive, or you're building another business to become an entrepreneur and become successful, to have a good income. It's 1,000 times is harder than building Amway business. Believe me that, okay? And so that is what I wanted to finally want to tell you. And we have the best of the best option. And if you see this is hard, forget about anything, just obey to your employment job and you work the rest of your life. There's nothing better than this, okay? So I want you guys to see, do that as a practice, do this as an exercise. When you feel something down, and if you feel to let go of this business, go in front of the mirror and question yourself, am I a champion? Am I a winner? How do I change as a champion? How do I change as a winner? That will answer the your question, and you can become successful. Okay. So I think everybody added fantastic value for that. And very rapidly, I quickly go through the next two topics. And it is very related to what we just discussed. Okay. And we must, understand that, we need to rebuild that momentum. Okay. We need to rebuild that momentum, because that is the only way that we all can actually stand up and run. Okay. So now how do we rebuild that momentum? And the second topic that I want to talk about, how do we actually build that momentum and be active and building this business as a part of our life, part of day-to-day activities, because we need to enjoy the life, enjoy the business, right? And how do we actually get the another core step we call a fun, right? Unless you are having fun building this business, you always feel that you need to let go of this business. Why? Because you're not really willing to step forward, right? And so that too is go in hand. Okay, so we will rebuild the momentum and make this business as a part of our life, and building it with the fun. Okay, so I want you guys to share your experience and the results that you got so far, and share, so then we all can learn, and we can actually right after this, and we can start building the momentum again. And all these activities could be fun oriented, and we all make this business as a part of our life. Okay, yeah, over to you guys.
I'm happy to go first. So first part of it is rebuilding the momentum. This is basically from my personal experience and something that has worked for me. But for me, when I'm out of momentum, like sometimes I don't realize it, but I really realize it when either my coach or mentor gives me a huge reality check. And after that, for me to build rebuild the momentum, for me, I personally give crazy work ethic, right? As Indika mentioned, you got to in the last training, I think lighting the fire, right? For me, it's a 2-day period of literally going all out. So connecting. I remember when I was
getting on my momentum run, like, you know, doing like, you know, 4 to 5 hours of connecting a day, like listening to like 5+ audios and over an hour of reading. And I would do that over a 2-day period where it doesn't matter if I have to, you know, stay up till 4 or 5 in the morning, but I'm willing to, you know, give it all, like all I've got. And as Naroshan like always teaches me, it's like, you've got to feel that pain, because if you don't feel that pain, you're not going to feel the hurry to, you know, get up and like keep moving. So for me, yeah, I basically go all out on the 9 core habits. And yeah, really feeling that pain for like success. And the other thing in terms of like how I add a bit of fun to this business is you need to find something which you really love about this business. Sometimes connecting and that isn't my favorite thing, but one of the things which I really love is I'm a creative person. So I love doing the creative aspect in this business, whether it's in designs or like any other thing. But for me, yeah, like what I'd recommend is find something that you love. And when you find something that you love, you know, it's not going to feel like work. And I can even say that even in my traditional business, I love what I do. So therefore it doesn't feel like work. So yeah.
I was actually listening to audio related to this. So there was 2 things that slapped me in the face. I'm just going to say that and then hand it over. The first thing was, let me just see. I'm just looking at my notes, sorry. Anything that you do, there is a 90-day lag. Keep it consistent for at least 90 days to see the results of it. And that's, you know, one thing that we need to remember when we start momentum as well. Sometimes the first couple of days of momentum building, we can't expect any results. The results of those first couple of days comes after a 90-day period. That was my first one. And the second thing is something I think Indika mentioned in her EW, which was, you know, momentum requires attention and value. And we need to understand that we need to focus on it in order to gain it. But yeah.
I'll go. Yeah. So I don't need to explain. Actually, every leaders are explaining very well. So I want to give one statement, guys. Right now, it's momentum is when we lose the momentum, we need to flicker the flame. Right. So it is all about you know, the group momentum is start from the personal momentum. So we know what to do. Be example. Be example. Leadership is all about example. Right. Now you read, you listen, you bring the candidate, and you do whatever you want to do, 90-day quorum, then team momentum will catch up. Right. So other thing is, right, communications with your coach and with your mentor, with your senior business partners, and keep, right, you need to, right, we need to be very humble, right. For example, our business partners are not talking for a while for us. We need to talk to them, right. We need to be humble, and we need to just have a chat. And the communication, the moment we lose the communication with the team members, right, we lose the momentum, we lose that energy. Right. We need to hear their voices. Right. So that's the one thing we can keep the momentum, guys. Of course, right. So when we all know we need to create the momentum. Let's work harder. It's a collaboratively work. That's as I explained, as a team, we need to work. It's a unity is very important. We need to do. And yes, fun about, guys. For me, winning is the fun. So I really, yes, we need to build the right, of course, right, with the right, we need to think what are the like and we dislike in the business, and we need to think the team activities and whatever soon catch up and things we need to discuss, right. Basically for me, right, when I win something, that is for me, right, that is a real fun. So yeah, right, yeah.
For myself, I remember I just told this one to Indika as well, and I keep listening to audios and it's saying the delayed gratification, right? I told Indika, oh, probably I'm very best at doing that, and I just realized the real delayed gratification, because I started the business during the pandemic, right? Because there's nothing you need to sacrifice during the pandemic. You lock down in the houses. But in December, I just realized the real meaning of that delayed gratification is because the people keep inviting to the parties and stuff. And my momentum has a little bit dropped down during the Christmas break. and how I catch it. And I just, it's like when you listen to the audio, but I never stop listening to the audios. When I listen to the audios, it's really hits me one time. This is it. I need to stand up and do some work. So this is where I catch my momentum. And when I start talking to people, and when people come up coming up in my pipeline, I just really love to talking to people and get to know their, it's kind of like a fire for me when I start talking to people, and when I have a lot of many candidates in my pipeline. Rather than just doing one MG1 in 1 week and maybe after 3 weeks another one, not like that. So yeah, that's how I build my momentum. And of course, my why is strong and my dream is bigger. When you think about those things, your momentum eventually creating.
So I would say when I lose momentum, it's when my emotional stability is at its lowest. So the best way, the first kind of flicker that everyone's been talking about that I get is when I go and talk to Vinary and Nirishna and Veronica. And then after that, it's kind of what Melly was saying about just what Vinary always says is before you get a plane to fly, it has to use 80% of its fuel. So it's kind of doing all this, just doing a huge punch of work ethic to kind of bring yourself up. Another thing that also I think Indika was saying was hanging around your team also helps, because, like-minded people that are, your closest friends. And fun also, is just, having fun with your team, doing certain things that, you can do with your team. If you don't have any people in your team, then you have your upline, go, do something with them, go hang out with your mentors and coaches. And, that's always fun. And obviously lockdown and everything, but you can have Zooms and you can, do little things to kind of bring yourself out of that kind of, rut. Because I feel like when we're not having fun is when we lose momentum, which is why I think Nirishna actually added those things together as well, those two topics, because they go so hand in hand. But yeah, that's kind of what I would like to say.
Awesome. And I think we have added enough value for these 4 topics. I know that you guys learn so many, and let's see how we can apply those things that we learned, and get back to that momentum and build our own business. Okay, so this is awesome business. We have awesome future through this arena, and I can very well remember one day that one of our mentors told, at least if you can become founder's emerald in this business before you die, that is that is more than it's like you're becoming a CEO of a corporate company. Right? And but if you even become a CEO of a company, but that is only for a few years, then even after that is nothing for you. But if you become founder's emerald in this business, and if you in your lifetime, and look at that, it never ends. It's passing back to your generations to come. Right? And so that's it isn't even, it doesn't matter, it take 5 years or 10 years or even 25 years or even lifetime, build it. And you have seen certain examples in the FEC, and 60s, 70s, they become a platinum, right? So they are recognized as a brand new platinums. And look at you guys just get into the corporate world, and you are just starting the life, right? And so you are so fortunate to understand and being in this arena, earning the mentorship, earning this coaching. And I would say a lot of people even in Team One Global, or even in a Brit worldwide, and they have seen this opportunity even much latter part of their age compared to yourself, right? And take that as an advantage. you're so lucky, so privileged for your mindset to earn that mentorship. Okay, and God has given that to you, and so rest is on your hand. Okay, and if somebody can become successful, why not you? There's no secret. It's a very transparent business. Why? Because you read the same book, I read the same book, you listen to the same audio, I listen to the same audio, you go to the same function, you go to the same meeting, I go to the same meeting. Nothing, there's nothing, even 0.001%, nothing that we learn differently to build this business. It's a fair playing field and to everybody. Okay, so and that's why I told you there's no any other opportunity like this. God has given one chance to you and me. It is up to us. We are taking it wisely, and we are doing our best to become at least Founders Emerald. That is a bare minimum that you and me can go in this arena. The people who have a more dream, people you have more drive, that you all can go even Crown Ambassador, even double Crown Ambassador. But my recommendation, my hope, my dream, at least everybody, there's a 23 logins, of course 24 IVOs here, and your bare minimum is Founders Emerald in the Amway business. That you can do that. I can do that, and everybody can do that. Okay, so very excited to seeing you guys in another few more days, and I will be back in the country on Thursday morning